So, how'd you get into acting?
Um, I think I was always involved when I was little. I took dance classes and was involved in my school plays, and then moved to New York um, when I graduated college and just kind of got into it and stuck with it.
Yeah, so what was the auditioning process like for Cobra Kai? Did you have like an in-person audition or was it self-tape?
No, it was self-tape. So I want to say it was like November, early November, and I was sick. I was like really sick, and my agent sent me the audition that morning. And I'd never heard of the show before. I had no idea,
Yeah,
like, Karate Kid, and I was like, oh, this would be cool. So I like literally took a shower, and as I'm jumping in the shower, I'm emailing my acting coach to see if I can get into the acting studio so someone can help me tape it because I'm home by myself. So I take a shower, I run to my acting coach's studio, I tape it within 2 hours. So while I'm showering, I'm memorizing all the lines. And it was basically the audition scene was basically the scene that you see in episode 8.
yeah,
So I'm memorizing all the lines. I'm like, you know, making up a backstory for these two kids I have, and I'm a single mom, and I'm going out on a date, and I'm making up all these details. And luckily, I have like 2 hours to do that, and it was enough time. And then my acting coach's assistant helped me tape it. And we just kind of did a couple takes. I did a couple improv takes. And then I sent in two takes to the casting office.
So, how far out did you know that you had booked it?
Uh, I found out I was supposed to be in Atlanta on a
Yeah,
Thursday to do it. And I found out Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. that I was
yeah,
booked. And I was in New York at the time. So I had to quickly pack a bag, book a flight from LaGuardia, and
yeah,
I stay with my aunt and uncle who live down there. So I think I got to Atlanta at like 1 in the morning, went
yeah.
straight to, and then I got up around like 6 or 7 the next day to get a car to set. So it was kind of a whirlwind. We were waiting all day. I guess what happened was one of the executive producers was in Europe at the time, and they were waiting on their final approval to like send me the final approval. So we were waiting all day, checking in, and I was hoping, and I had a feeling I booked it, but I didn't want to book a flight and then be like, oh, you didn't get it, and then
Yeah,
I go to Atlanta for no reason.
yeah. What was it like to work with Billy?
Amazing. He is like the nicest guy, the nicest co-star. We had a pretty long day. I was on set from like 8 a.m. to around 8 p.m. and basically just hanging out in my trailer, talking, meeting the other actors on set. And we went to lunch, and Billy came over and introduced himself because there were five of us women who were playing his
Yeah,
dates. So we were all hanging out all day, and with Alex, who plays Graham. And he came over, introduced himself to all of us, was like really excited to work with us. And then during our scene, they're setting up. It takes a while for the camera to set up and get the lighting and the angles and everything they want. So we were just talking for like, 30 minutes, an hour, just about each
yeah.
other. I was like, he grew up in Manhattan. He's like the nicest guy. It
What
was
is it like to
great, a great shoot.
what what is it like to be a producer and an actor? Like, have you ever produced something and acted in it before?
Yeah, and I'm doing it right now. I'm producing a feature, and I'm going to have a supporting role in it. It's just, I feel like it's more creatively satisfying because you get to be a part of the whole film from start to finish. So right
Yeah,
now, we have our pitch deck completed, and we're going to start, sending it out to get funding. We're going through our like dream list of cast members, and actually one of the roles we really want Zolo for, so I'm hoping I can use my Cobra Kai influence to
yeah.
get him to see if he would be interested, because I think he would be great in the role. But it's kind of fun to like plan everything and then be able to be a part of it. So I really like producing and acting because you get to be a little bit more in control.
What was it like? I know you're only in season two, but what was it like from the YouTube to Netflix move?
You know, I had no idea the power of Netflix. When it first came out on YouTube, I knew like diehard Karate Kid fans were watching it. You know, a lot of my friends had watched it. I ended up getting like a YouTube TV subscription so I could see it. But it wasn't like some of my friends had seen it, but not a lot of people. And
Yeah.
then, you know, it jumped to Netflix, which is so amazing. I'm so happy for them. And then all of a sudden I'm getting like messages from people I haven't heard of in 20 years. Like everyone's
Yeah.
reaching out to be like, "Hey, you on Cobra Kai?" So it was actually really fun because it just reached a wider audience, and it really shows you, you know, the power of Netflix and how many people, like I think Cobra Kai was either right up there or right behind Bridgerton. Like so many
Yeah.
people watched it.
Yeah.
So
A
that
lot
was
of people
fun.
just didn't want to pay for another streaming platform.
It's a lot. Like I think we did a free trial and then it was $50 a month when you're already paying for like Netflix.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, Zelda's the best. um, yeah, so it was like, you know, we ended up canceling it, and it was a good move. I'm kind of glad it took that journey. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was it like working on Sleeping Life of Sophia?
It was quick. I think I did it was like a 1 day shoot for that. And it was like a fun, weird, quirky shoot that we did. My husband's a composer and owns a recording studio in Manhattan. So we were at his studio doing like a very weird dance thing for that movie. But Marcelo is a really great filmmaker. I've seen a lot of his work, and he's actually going to help my husband my husband wrote a children's book a couple years ago. So him and Marcelo, who directed The Sleeping Life of Sophia, are going to be working on adapting that into a film.
Is there any upcoming projects you can talk about?
Yes, I am currently in a TV pilot that we're shopping around called Wellness Inc. that we shot about a year ago. So we're trying to find a home for that. I play a very like new age spa therapist named Summer, and that was really fun to play. We shot that like right before, you know, COVID hit and everyone kind of went into lockdown. And then right now I'm producing and we'll have a small part in a film called Scarred Hearts. And so we just finished the pitch deck for that, and we're just trying to, you know, we just need to raise the money for it. So we're looking for investors and assembling the crew together, the creative team, and then hopefully we're planning on shooting that next March of 2022.
Yeah. So how is auditions starting to pick back up, since the pandemic? I mean,
Yeah, it was very quiet a lot of last year.
yeah,
Also pregnant, and then I had a baby. So it was like I just took a little bit of time off because it was kind of the perfect time to just hunker down.
yeah,
Not much going on. So yeah, they're definitely picking up now. And a lot of things are shooting, especially in New York and Atlanta. So it's starting to pick up. It's still a little slow. So we'll just see. Hopefully by the end of the summer and into fall, things will be back, you know,
yeah.
almost to full force like they used to be.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping she stays asleep for this interview.
Yeah. Did you get to like meet Ralph or anybody else while you were on set for Cobra Kai?
No, um, for that episode, I was the day that I shot. It was 1 day, and it was basically all of the dates with Billy and his fight scene, some of the fight scenes with Alex, who played the Brit, who was dating Carmen at the time. So the only people from the show, like the only series regulars that I saw were Billy. I think that
Yeah.
was it. Yeah.
So that was a 1 day shoot for that episode.
Yep. 1 day shoot. Well,
Did,
it might have been, I mean, for my part, it might have been a 2 to 3 for the entire episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what is your dream movie? Like any time period or TV show that like if you could be in anything, what would it be?
Oh, that's so tough. There's so many. I think I'd want to be in like a superhero movie, or something
Yeah,
supernatural, like the vampire shows or like the witch. I just watched that fairy show on Netflix that Winx, the saga. I like
yeah.
watched, but I think like I love that stuff so much. I love the supernatural, like Harry Potter, any of that.
So, are you Team Cobra Kai or Team Miyagi-Do when it comes to Cobra Kai?
I would say I, it's so tough. I guess I'd go with more Miyagi-Do,
Yeah,
especially now with the turn that Cobra Kai has taken with Kreese. Um,
yeah,
I'm definitely more like, don't initiate the violence, like, be chill, meditation and all of that.
yeah,
Um, but then I also love Johnny Lawrence, so it would probably be Eagle Fang too. So I'm really interested to see what they
yeah,
do with season 4 and how him and Daniel team up to kind of counteract Creed.
yeah. Have you seen the original movies?
Yeah. So I think I saw them when I was younger, and then after I booked this part, I was like, I need to watch season 1 so I know what I'm walking into. I need to go back and watch the original movie. So I did, and it was just funny watching them again all these years later because it's like, oh, Daniel is kind of a little punk. Like Johnny Lawrence, he's the real karate kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't really see him as a
What was?
villain. Oh, he goes to this whole, he doesn't have a job. He's drinking a lot, all of that. He has this whole little journey. But he's a really good guy deep down.
What? Yeah. Did what was your favorite part of season 3?
I loved when they brought back Allie. Like I thought it
Yeah,
was cool to see them at the country club during Christmas again because it was such a throwback to the movie. And seeing, I didn't remember that Daniel was going to be there. So when Johnny shows up and Allie's there talking to Daniel, you can just see like that old Johnny
yeah,
coming back, and it's like high school all over again. So I really liked what they did with him and Allie and going on the date and all of that. And then, I was worried. I was like, oh no, like him and Carmen have started. Things have been heating up again. What's going to happen there? Are you going to drop Carmen for Allie? But then I kind of like how they dealt with that too, where
yeah.
she kind of let him go, which I think he needed.
I'm not sure if you've seen Karate Kid 3, but what do you think about Terry Silver possibly coming back?
So I haven't seen Karate Kid 3. Everyone, I don't think a lot of people like it.
Yeah, he's about the only good part of it, but
Yeah. I think it's great. I think the more people that they can bring back from the movies is amazing because then you get all the old viewers who love the movies and it gives
yeah,
them to watch. And you always need a new villain. You always need someone else to instigate. So I think that would be really cool.
yeah, he's pretty much creased with like 10 times more evil.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know how
Um,
long they can keep the Crease villain going. Something's gonna happen with him. So yeah, they're definitely gonna need a new one. But also
yeah.
got greenlit for another season or maybe up to season 6. So they have plenty of
Yeah,
time.
they have through season 4 but they got it wrote through 6 seasons as what
Yeah.
like they got it mapped out for, but
Yeah.
do you think that you'll possibly come back at some point?
I don't know. I would love to. I don't know how they would. I'm like, how would my character come back? Maybe one of her kids would be at a dojo or something or wants karate lessons. I would love to go. It was such a great set. Everyone was so nice. The crew, the cast. So I would love to go back.
Maybe if Carmen sees those pictures Allie was posting, maybe Johnny will have to get back on the dating app. Who
I
knows?
know. Maybe she'll him and then he'll get back on his dating app and I'll be there again.
Yeah. Did they did they sh like did they shoot all the different dates like all like at the same around the same area, or would they just shoot yours when you were around?
Yeah, so I think they used the exact same like table. The little bar was actually on their stage. So it was like a little restaurant fashioned on their stage. And then I think we all used the same table, and he was always on the same, Billy was always on the same side, and they just kind of like rotate us in. You know, they'd shoot one date fully, get all the angles that they wanted, and then the next woman would come in. And it was kind of fun because they let us come back to TV Village. So a lot of us were just sitting there watching everything. And it was fun to watch each other do our scenes because they're all have a little like comedic twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many takes that they shot?
I think we had enough rehearsal time that maybe for each camera angle, like for the close up, it was maybe like 3 to 4, like 3 to 4 of the close,
Yeah.
4 of the medium, and then a couple, like maybe 5 of the wide.
What was it like to work on Even the Score?
That was fun. That was, it's like a mafia kind of, you know, drug heist, money heist film. So we shot it at my friend's parents' house a couple years. This was right after Cobra, or right before I shot Cobra Kai. So I'm playing like a party madam who's, you know, it's like around an indoor pool. There's drugs, there's money, and then guys in masks come busting in, and you're not sure what's happening. So it was like kind of, it was a fun. That again was like a 1-day shoot, so it was a nice, quick and
Yeah.
easy thing. Get in, get out, do your scene. Yeah, I'm excited for that one to come out.
Uh, yeah. So what was it? Is there any like, what is your favorite project that you've worked on thus far?
Well, I loved Cobra Kai, and then I also did a short a couple years ago where I played Harley Quinn in a Batman fan fiction film, and I just loved the script. I thought the script was so, you know, smart. It was a different take on Bruce Wayne. It's kind of like the villains are all in his head. He's like tormented, and the villains are all in his head, and it's how he imagines, you know, the fears that he has as a child. And it was just such a fun shoot. I think that was like 4 days, overnights. We
Yeah.
were in this abandoned, haunted mental hospital in Queens in the dark, full makeup, everything. And it was just like a lot of fun doing research for that character, a lot of fun getting her voice down. It's such an iconic comic book character. And the writer director of that is actually who I'm working with on this upcoming feature. So totally, completely different genre. But it's nice how you like make friends from one project and then 5 years
Yeah.
later you're shooting something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so what is your favorite show to watch right now?
So I never saw The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I kind of just like, we never had HBO when I was growing up. My dad like didn't want to pay for it, didn't want us watching it. And I was a teenager. Like I shouldn't have been watching The Sopranos anyway. So I never saw it.
Yeah.
And I needed a new show because I'm just watching things so fast right now. I'm just home with my baby. So I just watch shows constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm halfway through season 3. And yeah, The Sopranos is the best. It's so good. I love it. I love the acting. It's so sad that James Gandolfini passed away because, man, he is an amazing actor. And it's fun as an actor to watch him because I'm rooting for Tony Soprano and you shouldn't be doing
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
What's the
it's really good.
plot?
So I'm excited to see the ending. I remember that like the final episode, everyone was like in shock and awe because I guess there's a huge cliffhanger. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited to get to the end and see that final episode. And then there's
Yeah.
the movie coming out in September, The Many Saints of Newark, and his
Yeah.
is playing the younger Tony Soprano. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. What's the plot on that?
I think it's just Tony's formative years growing up as like a teenager, it seems.
Yeah.
They An actor that I know, Billy Magnuson, is playing a younger version of Polly Walnuts. another girl that I took an acting class is in it. So I think it's him growing up, maybe I think 70s, I think it's 60s or
Yeah.
70s, and just seeing like, because you get those flashbacks of him as a little boy in The Sopranos, but I think this is more like him in high school and as a teenager.
Yeah. So from the Karate Kid to Cobra Kai, were you always a Team Johnny, or did it switch when you seen Cobra Kai?
Yeah, I think from watching The Karate Kid, I was definitely Team Johnny. And especially after meeting Billy, it's hard not to be Team Johnny. And just, I really,
Yeah.
and even in the show, Daniel is kind of annoying. Like, he kind of annoys me. Um,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't know. I'm just like always rooting for the underdog, hoping Johnny can come out on top.
Yeah. It's funny, like how like when y'all were in that scene and you're like he's talking about how good he was with kids and stuff, and then he's like, yeah, threw a flying elbow to his teeth, and
Yeah.
you're like, your face is just it's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that was like I knew from the audition I needed to nail that face. Like that would
Yeah.
be a face that's gonna be on the show. So we definitely did like a couple different takes of different like funny reaction faces for that.
Yeah. That's something typical Johnny would do though. I mean, that's just how he is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
But let's see. Yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on today. It was great to have you on.
Of course, thank you.
Really, really appreciate your time.
All the
All right,
Karate
have a
Kid
good one.
Cobra posters.
Oh yeah, got to represent.
Yeah.
All right, have